the rulers of the country making constant effort in recognizing women's contribution in any industry, I needed to take a break from the retailing, because you know how it is when you're in retail and you have a full-time family also. Very soon I realized there was so much more I could do on Instagram. I was there at the right time, and then I just went with the flow. People wanted relatable reviews.
There should be an Instagram course for husbands.
You know, a child helps you bring in that kind of a balance.
Do you ever say no to brands, Niki?
I've still not able to understand why they are there in the market, and I don't do it. I have phases of fashion, you know. Social media image consulting, if you think your product is amazing but people are still second guessing it, you have to be your own brand.
Welcome to Women of Wonder, or WOW Women as we lovingly call it. I'm your host Reema, and this is our initiative to bring to you stories of empowered and ambitious women so that we can all take inspiration from them. My guest today is an influencer with more than 2 million followers across social media channels. She's a mompreneur, a fashion designer, a fashion influencer, and whatnot. Welcome to the show, Niki. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you here, and I have kind of been following you for more than a year now. So I know your inspirational journey from being a fashion influencer to becoming a mom, to successfully becoming a mom influencer. It's been an amazing journey.
Thank you.
I'd love to start the show with breaking some myths around social media and influencing, because I think there are a lot of concepts out there that people think. So let's talk more about it. My first one is motherhood significantly hinders a woman's career progression. What do you think about that?
As an influencer, no, because in this part of the world, especially, we see that the industry is dominated by females. You know, you have so many women influencers / entrepreneurs, so managing both, you know, like their influencing work and also their own brand at many level. And so I do not agree. Okay, I will not say completely I do not agree to the statement, because there are certain industries where we see women do struggle a lot more when once they become mother. But here in my industry, definitely no.
But also social media often portrays a very picture perfect life, right? You're always happy on Instagram, for example. You're always partying on Instagram, for example. You always go to the best restaurants in town. But do influencers lead picture perfect lives as seen on social media?
You know, I often say this because we often get this asked, that what you see is usually 10 to 15 minutes of a life, 10 to 15 minutes of any influencer's life on a vlog or any channel. And a good influencer always has a team behind that successful blog. There is well scripted, well planned content. So what you see is always a glimpse of their life, which is well planned, well scripted, very important. We want to be authentic, but we also need to be aesthetically pleasing, visualize, So that's always going to be a little bit only of the entire life.
So you talked about authenticity there, right? Is it impossible to maintain authenticity while being a public figure on a social media?
I don't think so, because if I have my values clear, I know how I want to protect my privacy, and my boundaries are well set. And at the same time, I want to share my thoughts, and be it for commercializing it, I want to share my experience to make money, or I want to help community. As long as my values and my ideas are clear, you can manage. I mean, that's how you do it in a longer run, right?
And that's how you
survive in a longer
You survive in the longer term. You can't fake it for a long time. Okay, you are an influencer as well as an entrepreneur, right? Have you, as a woman entrepreneur especially, have you found it harder in the industry?
Both fashion or social media industries are, again, women dominated. And in this part of the world, even you see the rulers of the country making constant effort in recognizing women's contribution in any industry, right? So I think in most of the case, this is not there. Having said that, yes, in a lot of industries, in a lot of companies, I see this happening. And I think the day we women not only discuss this, and men will sit and discuss how to deal with this problem, this would not happen anymore in any industry.
Absolutely. And I think the more women support each other, whether it's the corporate world or the fashion world, the more progress we can make as women entrepreneurs, the more we recommend each other.
Correct, definitely. But at the same time, such discussion should not be only limited on women to women podcast. But the minute men will also start talking about it, I think it will get out. I mean, it will be better on a deeper level.
Absolutely. I think we are a women to women podcast, but I think there are tons of men and women podcasts going on. So more people discuss, the more we can make progress. My last one is, and I probably know the answer also, is you can't have a successful career and be a hands-on parent at the same time.
I think you can, because if you have time management and you have support system both at work and home, you can do it. Like, I think my work has expanded a lot more. I relaunched my fashion brand after delivering Thea, and our campaigns have increased so much, like number of campaigns, number of projects, brands association has tremendously increased in 1 year, and I'm able to do it. And I think that's because the strong support system that I have.
So you can do both.
You can
just
do it.
have
as
to
long
build
as you have that support system.
Agreed. So let's start with your journey. You started Instagram 6 years ago, right? How did that happen? What made you sign up on Instagram and decide you're going to be an influencer now?
I was a full-time fashion designer. I had my own retailing. I had my own production here. I needed to take a break from the retailing because you know how it is when you're in retail and you have a full-time family also. So when I decided to take break, I was like, I've always worked full-time since I was 18. So how am I going to do this, So I wanted to stay relevant, and Instagram was the most connecting platform that time. If you're not on Instagram, you're not there, kind of a brand presence was needed that. So that's when I started my Instagram to stay connected to my fashion clientele and things like that. But very soon I realized there was so much more I could do on Instagram. While just being a fashion designer was not only needed, I could do so much more. Anything that you do, like from going to cafes to shopping, everything could have been commercially, professionally done on Instagram. And I think I was there at the right time. Sometimes, you're just there at the right time. And then I just went with the flow.
So you went with the flow, but how did you find your unique voice in a crowded Instagram platform?
So, when I started, I was just having one of the casual conversation with my friends. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even plus size. I'm not even on those, because back then only models and actresses turned influencers were mainly there, right? So I was like, I'm in between, and what do I do? But and that's when from friends, from audience, from brands, I was getting to know that they wanted relatable content. I think people were done looking at the same outfit or the same makeup product on a certain filtered or like those beauty pageant winners' faces only. People wanted relatable reviews. And that's when and that's how I think Instagram in general has emerged so much, right? So that relatable content creating really helped me.
Nowadays, you share a chunk of your life when you spend time with your daughter and you're taking her out. How are you balancing motherhood and Instagram at the same time? And how do you decide which portions of her life are you going to share publicly?
So this is what I have been doing from day one. I know how much to show and how much not to show. And I come from a huge family, I grew up here, I have my family, and I want to create relatable content. So I have to show my audience that what are my eating habits, what are my lifestyle, and what kind of family I come from, my culture habits. But at the same time, I just want to respect everyone's privacy, because that's how I would be if I was on the other side. So as long as I know that these are few things that have really benefited and I want to share to my community there, I personally try to refrain from giving any health advice, any relationship, anything that's too personal on mind or body level, I try to refrain from.
Yeah, and your husband often comes on your stories, not on the feed that much, but on your stories. So tell me about his support. Tell me about the men in your life and how they're supporting you.
I think he's very comfortable. And only thing that he keeps asking is like, where were your presence with camera when we were getting married? Because, I was never, I was never a person who will go like, let's do a photo shoot, let's do a pre-wedding shoot, or, I'm ready in my reception lehenga, let's do a shoot before the guests come, that kind of thing. I was literally not into that. But he's always been that kind of, let's get picture taken, let me take.
Oh, you're one lucky girl, I'll tell you. Because what I tell my friends is there should be an Instagram course for husbands. Because when we go out, just Amit and me, I don't have a nice picture to post.
Okay, let's not talk about the quality of his photography here. Let's just end it over here.
Only edited pictures. So he's better in front of the camera then.
Yeah, he's much, I think, much more comfortable than I am, for sure.
Let's talk about the influence your daughter has had on your work. Have projects changed in the last year, or you've consciously, undertaken being a brand ambassador for different types of brands in the last year since your motherhood journey?
So I'm definitely continuing with what I was doing before, I'll be honest there. But brands, I think, want to work a lot more with mommy-to-be and moms, because it just kind of brings a different value, a different perspective to a product's review process. And the work has increased. So because then there were no kids brands before, and some reason brands and audience love her screen presence. So
they do. We all do.
So the work profile, the portfolio has really increased after that. And she helps, a child helps you bring in that kind of a balance. You learn to be more present, you're better at time management. She has made me discover few talents or few capacities, abilities that I did not know I had. So that there has been a lot of influence by her.
Amazing. And do you ever say no to brands, Niki? Have you said no to projects?
Of course, right? Because I have my certain values, my traditions, my religious practices that I want to respect over my work. So yeah, a lot of times I'm a pure vegetarian. I have my dietary requirements. There are certain procedures that work better for others, but I still haven't been there where I understand those procedures. So there are a lot of things that I've still not able to understand why they are there in the market, and I don't do it. And sometimes I understand, but it's not part of my lifestyle. So I have said no.
So we are loving our conversation here, Niki, and we're going to move on to one of my favorite sections of the show, and we call it Direct Dilse. We have a lovely hamper, but the hamper is special. I'll tell you why, because, Indian Women Dubai is a community of real women, 60,000 women out there. And we have a lot of these budding entrepreneurs, mostly homepreneurs, working from home. So this hamper is a very simple hamper, but everything in it, including the packaging, the mug, the vouchers, everything comes from a woman running a small business.
Wonderful.
So that's why we call it the Empowered and Ambitious
I'm
hamper.
excited to win.
Absolutely. But you have to work hard to win. So are you ready? Yeah. Shall we start? Okay. What's your favorite fashion trend of this year?
The sari, the fact that people are wearing sari to anywhere and everywhere.
Yes,
I'm loving that trend.
I agree. I think totally from PC to Alia Bhatt, everybody's rocking saris these days. Is there one item you can't live without?
Sunglasses. I literally cannot step without. I'll come back home with a headache for the whole day otherwise.
What about the phone?
I'm okay about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mostly people say phone when I ask them this.
My husband might not agree to this, but honestly, I'm okay about it.
What's your favorite travel destination?
Istanbul. I love the vibe of that city.
You've been there?
3 times and I can still keep going.
Oh, brilliant. What's your go-to relaxation activity? What do you do to switch off?
To switch off. Maybe listen to a nice spiritual bhakti. That since I got pregnant and through journey with Thea, that has been our thing to just switch off. Before that was Netflix. Keep watching random colorful series. Yeah, COVID made me do that.
Yeah.
But now I think I enjoy more spiritual bhakti music.
Would you star on Dubai Bling one day? Would you like to star on Dubai Bling?
If they can make it still bling and subtract a little bit of drama, I would.
So Dubai Bling, keep the bling and remove the drama.
The drama, a little bit of it for sure.
Brilliant. Who's your fashion icon that you follow?
I think with fashion, I've always looked at fashion as a comfort and your personal statement. And I have phases of fashion, So I cannot say one.
Who are your inspirations, or which Instagram accounts or people you follow?
That's why I said it's phases. For me, fashion has always been phases.
What's the current phase like then?
More comfort and just trying to manage some postpartum flabs here and there.
You've already lost a lot of your weight. I think you're back to square one. Okay, what's the one thing you wish you knew before starting your business?
That you have to be your brand. You cannot, like when I was in fashion designing, even every time there was a media exposure or anything like that, I would be like, let my clothes speak for it. But no, your product can be amazing, but they don't speak, especially in the era like Today, you have to be your own brand.
I agree. And I think that's beyond the barriers of fashion designing only, right? It doesn't matter whether you're trying to sell skincare, whether you're trying to sell candles or whatever. You have to own the product and show up on
Even
your
if you're
social
working
media.
Even if you're working in MNCs, I love it when I see, you know, like so many like lawyers having their Instagram accounts, doctors having their Instagram accounts. It just, that's how you have to be.
Completely agree. Which app do you use the most besides Instagram?
I think I use Pinterest more than the others.
Do you use Pinterest for inspiration or you have your own page on there?
For me to just inspiration and just be even cooking recipes. I am more of a Pinterest person these days than Google, to be honest. Yeah.
Right. Do you like
Pinterest.
Cooking?
Oh yes, I enjoy cooking.
What do you like cooking?
Pretty much everything. I'm a foodie, I'm an emotional eater, and I'm one of those people who can actually cook an entire dish and eat. You know how we usually say people who cook would not want to eat then, but I'm one of those who can eat and cook both.
But Indian or international and
Everything.
continental cuisine?
I think everything. I enjoy like cooking Mexican food the most, I think. I'm telling you, I have food for every emotion, so I can cook pretty much anything.
Where does chocolate fit into that?
Chocolate is the baseline, right? For any meal, it fits in. It's a basic ingredient for any appetite. It fits in everywhere, every meal.
I agree. What's a girl without chocolate? What to
Exactly.
say? If you weren't living in Dubai, where would you be living?
You know, I've lived in many other countries, so I would come back to Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mountains or the beach?
Mountains.
Is there any cause you're particularly passionate about?
Women empowerment and education. I strongly support SRMD Love and Care initiatives. They've done wonderful for women, not just from education to their health to their earnings resources.
In today's world, what does women empowerment mean to you?
Let her be. Stop reminding what women used to be in olden days. Olden days are gone. Let it be. The minute you stop reminding her that, she's empowered.
And how do you think men can support women empowerment?
I think, you know, that's what I was saying. You know, there are a lot of topics men need to get involved in. And instead of saying that we do not know how to do it because we did not see before, stop saying that we don't know how to support because we haven't seen in our families. I think in cultures where we come from, this happens. You know, we want to support our wife, our daughters, but we do not know because we haven't seen it. Fine, let it be. Stop reminding yourself that you don't know. Try it out now.
Yeah, come to the table and have a conversation, right? And sometimes it's all about having conversations. You know, we women don't ask for help often, right? We will do 100% of it ourselves and hope the guy in the house understands that we need help. We don't speak up for ourselves as much as we would, right? But what's your take on that?
I think because we are that generation where we want to prove or we need to prove. So I think we're confused many times that should we ask for a help or will asking for help again mean that we are dependent on man or we are not strong enough? So we are that generation, you know, a lot of experiments are happening on our generation. we are the emerging generation, but a lot of experiments are happening with us. So I think let's just be easy on ourselves. Today you feel like asking for help, that's also fine. Today you want to become strong and don't want to ask for the help, let it be. But at least be clear with yourself that, you know, I'm emerging.
Right.
And I'm going to try different moods.
Brilliant. So that's been awesome. And you've done amazingly well, Niki, on our Direct Dil Se round. We have this hamper. This is our Empowered and Ambitious hamper, as we call it. And it is duly all yours to take home.
Thank you so much.
Today. There's some pampering vouchers in there. There's a little mug in there. So remember us when you have your next chai.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So Niki, we have a lot of women on the community who are aspiring entrepreneurs. What's your advice to them?
After COVID, I've realized your biggest asset is your ideas. So keep those ideas flowing. And we women generally have really creative ideas always coming from every part of our mind. So please prioritize in supporting your ideas.
If I'm a professional looking to take that jump to become an entrepreneur, what are your thoughts on that?
Again, in recent times, we've understood that we need to have plan A, B, C. You know, a lot of careers emerged in COVID. Like they were not there. They just came up and they're like most earning career options right now. And a lot of them did not, a lot opportunities went away. A lot of industries kind of died. So have plan A, B, C. And yes, so take that leap.
Can you share any closing thoughts on the women in our community? All these women are based out of Dubai and are probably trying to make Dubai their home. And I think you've very comfortably made Dubai your home. So what are your advice for all the women?
Financial stability in this part of the world, because you need it, right? When you're in another country and to make it your home. Starting business or surviving in a business has become so much easier with different government license options. So take that. So keep yourself very well updated with all these new things are coming up. Gone are the days where, you just need to say that, okay, starting a business is difficult, or how do I get started? With digital era, everything is becoming more available. So keep yourself updated, and be it you starting something new or you are somewhere there, find a place where you can call home, find your inner peace, and once you have balanced yourself within, a lot of these new factors of starting new business, starting at a new place will ease automatically.
Brilliant. And one of the businesses you mentioned in the beginning, Niki, were you also do image consulting on social media. What are your top tips for that?
So, we are in, again, that era where if you're not on social media, if your image is not built there, you're pretty much not there. So social media image consulting is where if you think your product is amazing, but people are still second guessing it, or if you think, you often hear it from your customers that they would negotiate on price or go somewhere else, you need an image consulting where you need to just have that clear image being portrayed, be it for yourself or your product. And that's what we do as image consultant. With all the things happening on our phone and through apps, when you search one thing from every sources, from be it WhatsApp, Google, Pinterest, the same thing keeps coming. And as an audience, you kind of forget where you had actually seen it. So as an image consulting firm, we also give the approach to storytelling of your brand, which then connects and your audience remembers it for a long time. And through this, you are changing the previous methods of marketing. Easily Instagram has replaced magazines, TV. People are deciding their wedding dress on Instagram. They're deciding their next holiday destination, their kids' name on Instagram. And that's how, you have to emerge and you have to adapt to new methods of marketing.
So, Niki, you became a mom recently. And right now, these days, there's a lot of pressure on the new mummies to regain back their pre-pregnancy body, right? They want to be like fit on day zero after delivering a baby a few hours ago. How did you battle this? And what is your take on it?
I totally disagree to this need of getting back to your shape the minute you delivered. Because look at me, I was pretty much back in the shape soon after I delivered, but I gained afterwards. I gained in the postpartum journey. So that whole pressure, I think, is completely wrong. Get back to the shape or the fitness because you need to be more active for your child. You need to take care of your health because you've undergone a whole different body transformation. You've given you could even have had a C-section delivery. So focus on your health and fitness and not in getting back to that wardrobe.
And talking about Thea, right? Your daughter is growing up. What is your advice to that 17-year-old Thea who will grow up in a different world than ours today? What would you tell your daughter that you didn't know when you were probably 17?
I will tell her differently, because I would like to tell her that my generation had to prove a lot of things. Yours does not need to. So just love yourself.
So it's been amazing talking to you, Niki. Love yourself is the mantra from our favorite Niki Shah. If you like this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with another Women of Wonder very, very soon. Namaste.
Hi, I'm Niki Shah, and you're watching me on Women of Wonder by Reema Mahajan.